And it's me, the E, in the home stretch. Yes, if you can call this a home stretch. The penultimate page. Here's the first panel for the second to last page. That's Joseph getting a sucker punch in his jaw. Glass Joseph, we'll call him. And then he's getting disrobed and pulled down the hill into the pit. And then getting thrown into the pit, a la 300 style. This is Sparta! Actually, this is, where are they at? Or Dothan. This is Dothan! And then he falls into the pit. He will have a head eventually. And then there he is at the bottom of the pit. So it's getting more and more detailed the further I go on. So how's it going with you? And it's me, the E. Have you learned how to love grunge as of yet? Have you changed your mind about the grunge? Have you repented, brother? Well, we'll have to work harder. We're gonna have to pray harder. It's funny how depends on your age, depends on how old you are. When you hit your 20s is when you make your opinions about music. In my 20s, it was the 90s. And my 20s hit during the 90s. And the popular music at the time was grunge. And older friends of mine, I mean, not that older, not that much older, loved the 80s. The 80s were the best thing since sliced bread to that generation. Not even generation, just generation is 20 years away apart, right? So it's not even a generation, it's a decade away from each other. Oh, so Flat Cap Dapper Pastor had this a bracket challenge. He was going through all the songs, all the Christmas songs, and asking people to vote how they put them up head to head against one another, just like March Madness bracket, and we voted on them. Andy says, I'm in the sweet spot, age-wise, to love grunge. I love the 80s, got into Christian rock in 91, which was a glorious decade for it. Awesome. I became a Christian in 94. I did not, I'm sorry to say I did not love Christian music until it got better. Until I started listening to our current radio station. When did I start listening to them? I guess our station is called Word FM. WORD, Word FM. See what they did there? When did I start listening to them? I think it was 2000s? 2010s, maybe? And he says, oh, okay. I've already read that. So were you a fan of Striper? Who else was there? So what were the bands that you fell in love with back then? I was not a Christian yet. I had not yet become a Christian in my teenage years, but I knew who Striper was. I think they had a video on MTV. Krumbacher. So, even though I was not a Christian, there was a girl who invited me to a Christian concert, and because I liked her, I asked her out, and she said, why don't you come with me to a Krumbacher concert? Krumbacher? Who is that? Scared? Sacred Warrior, rather. Blood Good. Tourniquet. Tourniquet, Mortification, Petra. Oh, Petra, yes. Newsboys. Newsboys, that's who I was trying to think of. Supertones. I recognize two of those bands, Petra and Newsboys. To this day, I know the name Krumbacher, but I could not tell you, I could not point to any of those songs that they sing, but I did go to one of their concerts. And no, that is not how I became a Christian. I became a Christian in 1994. I was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on a stint on a job. I was there for my job. The thing about Striper is they went way beyond the Christian market. And they had multiple number ones on MTV. Yeah. I remember that much. So I was in Philadelphia, and it was during the time of Easter/Passover, and all of my work friends, acquaintances had something to do on Easter and/or Passover. And someone asked me what I believe, and I remember the answer that I said was, I am religiously confused. I am, because I had grown up, I had been raised as a Muslim, but I was no longer enamored with that way of living. I did not want to be a Muslim anymore. I mean, I did and I didn't, but I was searching. Let's just say I was searching. And I remember the train ride that I was on the train. I looked out, and there was this Hasidic Jewish private school, and all the boys were they had these locks of hair coming down their heads, and the little black hats, and they were all dressed the same way. And I was looking at them thinking, okay, well, what about Judaism? What about, I know that Christianity, I know I'll never become a Christian. What about Judaism? What about that? So I remember I guess it would be a prayer.